Hey everybody, Brian back with you at Strong Tower. I'm a functional aging specialist and Z-Health movement specialist. Excited to bring you a nerve glide today. So what are nerve glides? They're techniques that help you keep the mobility in your peripheral nerves, so they keep peripheral nerve health. Mobility is the #1 quality for peripheral nerve health, so super important. And this one today, if you've struggled with maybe when you run or walk, you get some hamstring kind of excess tension or hamstring cramping ever. If you get, on days that you do some running or you do some squatting, you end up with really sore inner thighs, our adductor muscle group. This is a great nerve glide to work on consistently, meaning pretty much every day. So the setup for this, you could use a chair. You could, keep in mind, do this in kneeling. So if you were kneeling, we would be in kind of this position with the back leg angled back so that femur is lengthened behind you, and then also off to the side, so I'm dropping towards my lead leg, which is off to the side or off to the right in this case. So that's one way to go about it. I'm going to show you a way to use like a couch, a chair, or in this case a box to elevate the leg and then set up into the position. So what I want to do is bring my lead leg forward in front of the pad. I'm going to bring the back knee up and back, and I want this lead leg off to the side. So I have this abducted or side angle with the back leg, and I also have a little bit of extension in the hips. So I want to make sure that that knee is trailing the rest of the body, trailing the pelvis here. From there, we're going to maximally go to 3 out of 10 intensity. So I don't want you to push past a 3 out of 10 stretch sensation, because you can overstretch the nerve, so just be careful with this one. Once you hit 3 out of 10, even if I'm continuing to go through some movements or techniques, just stop where you are, and you don't need to follow through the rest of the motions until you're able to. And doing this consistently, if the nerve is tight or kind of compressed, doing it consistently over time will probably sort of unlock the additional movements that you could do to get into the gentle tensioner for the obturator nerve. So we're going to go ahead, tuck the pelvis. So first step, hard pelvic tuck. We want to pull the tailbone underneath your body, underneath your rib cage. From there, I'm going to shift forward and out slightly with the lead leg. So forward and out. And then I'm starting to develop some tension, so I'm getting close to a 3 out of 10. For the sake of the video and showing you the rest of it, and I feel comfortable not overstretching my nerves because I've done enough of these to know where too much really is. So stopping shy of that. We're going to tuck the pelvis, rotate away. So those are the kind of 3 main positional setups here. Once the lead leg is set up, we're with motion tucking the pelvis, shifting forward, and then rotating away. Once I have that rotation, so the obturator nerve comes out of L2, 3, 4. Once I have that rotation in the lower back or lumbar area, I'm going to then go through some anterior, posterior pelvic tucks. So just adding some flossing or some motion to that by tucking the tailbone and then letting it drive back, and tucking and driving back. So a few of those, and then ease out of it. I'm going to show you one more angle and then give you some ideas of how to stack sensory and motor together to get even better results with your nerve glide. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you the side angle so you can see that that back leg is trailing. If you have a wall, a PVC dowel, something handy to hang on to, so just in case you don't feel 100% comfortable with the balance. And we really want the focus on what's going on in this back leg and the hip, so that you're not overly focused on maintaining your balance on the lead leg. So to be able to pay attention to the sensation in this back leg, please do hold on to something for this drill. So we're going to tuck the pelvis again, rotate away, and I'm shifted forward so this back leg is trailing, that back hip is in extension, and then I'm just going through pelvic tuck, anterior, posterior, tilting the pelvis there once that's set up. Another idea for stacking this with sensory input, just keep in mind that there's multiple different types of receptors and multiple different types of sensory input that we would want to test. Just to keep it simple today, and because I have my pen handy in my pocket, I'm going to show you a sharp test that you could do. So if I set up on the other leg here, I'm getting into position for the obturator glide. and I could just go through and do some sharp dull testing. So if I have the pen open, that end of the pen is sharp obviously, and then the opposite end is dull. So areas that we could check getting into the front of the hip, maybe around the low back like L2, L3 on that same side that you're working on, and maybe even into the inner thigh. So kind of getting into that adductor muscle group. So I'm going to tuck the pelvis, rotate away. I'm shifted forward with that lead leg, and I could come in and just add some sensory to this. Maybe add the pelvic anterior posterior tilts while I'm going through some sensory work around the hip. So guys, fantastic one for the adductors and the hamstring muscles. We want to keep the nerves healthy so that your muscles can stay healthy too. Another additional benefit of doing nerve glides consistently is we get good sensory information to the brain about those areas. The surface layer of bone, periosteum, actually has innervation from some of these nerves. So we know if we keep the peripheral nerves healthy, we are probably actually impacting on bone density and getting nutrients into your skeletal system, not just keeping the nerves, the peripheral nerves, and the muscles themselves healthy. So guys, if this helped, please share the video, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.